A close friend of the ringleader of the London Bridge terror attack has been jailed after making Islamic State propaganda videos outside Windsor Castle. Taha Hussein and another radical extremist filmed themselves making threats and yelling his slogans in a car outside the castle and at the nearby Coldstream Guards barracks, on the day after the Paris terror attacks in November 2015. The 21-year-old, who was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, was close friends with Khurram Butt, the man who led two other terrorists to run over and then stab innocent members of the public on London Bridge and in Borough Market in June. Security sources have told Sky News that had he not been arrested 10 months before London Bridge, it is perfectly conceivable he'd have gone on to play a part in that attack. Hussein was filmed making boasts about Islamic State as he passed Windsor Castle. Hussein was also part of prolific terrorist recruiter Anjem Choudhury's circle of radicals, and was regularly pictured with other members of the group at protests and rallies. Choudhury is also now in jail, serving 5.5 years for encouraging support for IS. Anjem Choudhury is the UK's most prolific terrorist recruiter. Hussein had been sending radical material to Muhammad Sufyan Chowdhury, 23, another preacher from Maidenhead, who was jailed earlier this year after talking about trucks full of explosives driving down Oxford Street. Another recipient, Muhammad Abdulkadir Osman Mayo, 23, a former Asda worker from Hayes, West London, who called himself Abu Zubair, was jailed for 5 years and 2 months in February for spreading terrorist propaganda. His contacts also included Omar Hussein, a Morrison's security guard from High Wycombe, who went on to join IS using the name Abu Sa'id al-Brittani. Jihadis filmed at Windsor Castle. Taha Hussein, from Slough, was found guilty of 7 counts of disseminating terrorist publications after a trial at the Old Bailey in July. The court heard he ran 2 YouTube channels which he used to broadcast extremist material. He also used the encrypted WhatsApp and Telegram messaging services to disseminate documents and videos, including one called Lions of the UK. When asked about the videos made in Windsor in court, the apprentice panel beater, who had become religiously observant at the age of 15, claimed he was there to feed the ducks. Hussein said he wanted to replace the British flag with that of his leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. 6 separate clips were later found on his phone. Hussein and the other man could be seen driving past the castle and the barracks, listening to an Arabic chant called a nasheed while giggling in excitement. See that place over there? Windsor Castle, inshallah. We're going to tear up the British flag, replace it with that of Sharia inshallah, of the Amir al-Mu'mineen, leader of the faithful, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, Hussein says in one clip. Hussein also made a video outside Hounslow Barracks with Haroon Ali Syed, 19, from Hounslow, West London, who was jailed for life in July for plotting a terrorist attack at an Elton John concert in Hyde Park. Detective Chief Superintendent Kath Barnes, head of counter-terrorism policing for the South East, said extremist posts like the ones shared by Hussein have the power to influence our people and particularly those who may be young and impressionable or vulnerable for a variety of reasons. She added, this could lead to those influenced individuals committing acts of terror. WHIC clearly has devastating effects on communities, the individual and their family and friends. She said counter-terror police would continue the work to identify those responsible for spreading terrorist propaganda and would be relentless in our efforts to keep people safe. A close friend of the ringleader of the London Bridge terror attack has been jailed after making Islamic State propaganda videos outside Windsor Castle. Taha Hussein and another radical extremist filmed themselves making threats and yelling